Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into the content today because we are embarking on a truly profound psychological journey. We're exploring a deeply human experience, how the unhealed wounds of our history can actively hijack our present, and more importantly, how we can finally break free from them. We are breaking down some incredibly insightful source material to understand the mechanics of our own minds. If you're someone who values structured, focused learning, you are in the exact right place. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. The text uses this gorgeous metaphor that really hits the nail on the head. Life is like a book, containing both pages of happiness and pages of bitterness. We all have pages filled with immense joy, right? But we also have pages stained with deep bitterness. And here's the massive challenge the source highlights. Those painful pages of trauma or severe disappointment, they rarely just close on their own as time passes. Instead, if we leave them unaddressed, these unclosed chapters linger. They absolutely refuse to stay in the past, continuing to haunt our everyday lives like lingering shadows.
Section 1. Shadows of the Past.
Section 2. Triggers and emotional instability.
You know, when these unresolved shadows overpower our present reality, they don't just make us feel a little down. They severely damage our foundational mental health. When your emotions are securely locked away in a past event, your mind essentially builds a dysfunctional defense mechanism. It's trying to protect you, for sure, but it's doing so in a way that totally disrupts your normal life. It naturally leads us to ask, why do small things suddenly upset us? It's a question I'm sure we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why are we perfectly happy, completely fine one moment, only to suddenly plummet into a dark pit of negative emotion the next? It feels incredibly confusing, right? You might even think, wow, why am I overreacting? But as the text explains, this isn't random at all. It is a direct result of those unresolved shadows interacting with your current environment.
Our source brilliantly illustrates what's actually happening behind the scenes in those confusing moments. On one side, you have the minor trigger. This is a tiny, seemingly insignificant present event, maybe a specific word, a certain tone of voice, or a situation that just faintly resembles your past trauma. But on the other side, you get a completely disproportionate reaction. We're talking a massive, exhausting tidal wave of fear, profound sadness, or intense anger. Your conscious mind might not see the logical connection, but trust me, your emotional memory absolutely does.
So why does this matter so much for our daily lives? Well, because these sudden, drastic emotional drops are incredibly costly. First off, they completely drain your physical and mental energy. Constantly riding this invisible emotional roller coaster just leaves you exhausted. Secondly, and honestly perhaps more tragically, these unexplained reactions build thick, defensive walls that block healthy, meaningful relationships with the people around you today.
Section 3. The trap of overthinking. That emotional exhaustion we just talked about, it leads directly into the trap of a wandering mind, or basically excessive overthinking. And this becomes particularly overwhelming at night. When the house gets quiet, the brain just gets flooded. You might find your mind bombarded with negative thoughts, deep regrets about what you could have done differently, and a relentless loop of unanswered questions from the past. The source totally validates this common experience. A mind that has no footing in the present is going to obsessively worry about the future, or fear that painful history is about to repeat itself.
This text uses this deeply evocative, almost haunting phrase to describe the ultimate result of this excessive worry. It calls it living without your spirit in your body. By constantly dwelling in the past or fearing the future, you suffer a complete loss of focus and thoroughness in your actual life. You are physically present, sitting at your desk, eating dinner with friends, but mentally, you're entirely absent, trapped in an invisible, chaotic world.
Section 4. Losing control of ourselves.
Think about it. When your mental and emotional pathways are fundamentally governed by the pain of the past, your ability to steer your own ship in the present is severely compromised. This persistent mental absence forces us into dysfunctional coping mechanisms. As the source outlines, we become highly susceptible to making the wrong decisions. We might take the intense anger generated by a past injustice and unfairly weaponize it against a present, totally unrelated issue. Or we might choose to escape reality altogether, completely isolating ourselves from society just to avoid any potential new pain.
So the crucial point is this: we cannot change history. It is a hard, unyielding truth, but a completely necessary one to accept. The past is already written, closed, and finalized. No amount of overthinking, regretting, or isolating is going to grant us a time machine to go back and rewrite those difficult pages of our book.
Section 5. Escaping the mental prison.
Because while we absolutely cannot change the past, we can absolutely change how it operates within us today.
The source text pivots here from diagnosing the problem to empowering us with a real solution, building a strong mental shield and actively taking back control of our lives. Healing isn't passive, folks. It's an active, structured process. The text provides these exact actionable steps. First, treat the event as data. Learn from it. Second, don't suppress the emotion. Bravely acknowledge the pain it caused. Third, consciously make the decision to let it go by shifting your core value to today, right now. And fourth, recognize that you do not have to do this alone. Seeking professional consultation from an expert is a powerful, proactive step toward reclaiming your peace.
If the past is an unchangeable record, then the present moment, right here, right now, is literally the only reality where we hold any actual power. Today is the only space where you have the full, unbridled right to pick up the pen, write your own story, and purposefully manage your life.
I want to leave you with this final, incredibly powerful thought, directly inspired by our source text. We have to choose to view our history differently. Treat the past, even the bitter pages, as a strict teacher that gave you profound lessons, rather than a dark prison designed to lock away your freedom and happiness. You already have the tools to step out of the shadows. So, until next time, I want you to ask yourself, which page of your past is it finally time to close today? Please click like, share my channel, and comment for more videos. Many thanks.